Honestly, I mean, I had to embrace it. It was my time. I mean, I played last year. I have the most experience on the defense right now, me and Garrett Taylor. And I feel like, I mean, that's what I got to do. We got young guys looking up to me, and I just feel like I'm in a position where I understand the program and I understand what's going on the field, and I can help and mentor these guys. So it kind of came natural.
Sorry, those young guys test your patience at all?
Who, the young guys? I mean, everybody tests everybody's patience every once in a while. I mean, Micah still tests my patience, so. But no, everybody's good. Their kids, they're coming along well, and they're working hard. And those kids, there's some freak natures coming in, so it was crazy looking at.
Cam, what have your thoughts been on the progress that Micah's made, throughout last year and early on here in the spring?
I think it's tremendous strides. I think from freshman year to now, beginning of his freshman year to now, he's a whole different person. I feel like he knows what he's doing. He's sharp. He can teach other kids. He can teach kids like Brandon Smith and Lance, and he's just giving tips. He's real productive now. He's giving to the program more than just on the field.
Is there anybody whose leadership kind of provided a role model for you, or a template that you would follow? And how does your leadership manifest itself with the younger guys?
I mean, well, Naeem Wortman and B. Bell and Jason Kapinda, those three guys were the main ones that taught me how to be a Penn State football player. Those guys, you had different type of characters. Like B. Bell was more quiet, he worked hard, he did the right things. Jason was always a loud, rah-rah in your face. And with me, I feel like you get a good mix of both. So.
What do you do now that you didn't do at the beginning of your career, either off the field, on the field, in terms of just like the behind-the-scenes stuff, not your actual play?
Take care of my body. That's number one. Freshman year, I took advantage of it. I felt good all the time, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't got to do all this extra stuff. I'll just do extra lifts and extra running. But taking care of your body and stretching was the biggest thing for me this year and last year. Just making sure I'm healthy, making sure I could be on the field to make plays and do things I want to do.
And how do you help some of those younger guys kind of acclimate faster and faster? We saw Micah last year could be in the wrong place but make up for it with his athleticism and stuff like that. And you've got a guy like Brandon Smith who's sort of in a similar mold. How do you get him, accelerating past that point faster and faster?
Honestly, just mentoring him, just trying to help him with the little thing. Just telling him to let free. You're going to make mistakes. They're freshmen, so you got to play. You got to play football. That's what comes natural to these guys. And some of them aren't naturally linebackers. Some of them aren't natural, to the scheme and things like that. So they just got to get used to that. And it's kind of like being positive for them and trying to push them forward. You got to be hard on them sometimes, but it helps to be positive with some of those guys, just to let them know they're going in the right stride, that everybody made those mistakes at one time.
We've talked a lot about you being a taller linebacker, and it's not common that a guy is 6'5" and plays your position. Brandon Smith has a similar sort of situation. Is there anything to that? And have you talked to him anything about tips or anything to accelerate what you were just talking about?
I was definitely giving him tips. I definitely told him, you got to play with knee bend. Being tall it looks good, but football is a game of leverage, so you got to get low. It helps you in certain aspects and it doesn't. I'm trying to teach him that it helps certain times, it doesn't. It can get you put on your butt certain times. So, I mean, just doing that, telling him that and things like that is just, I don't know. I want to say, I don't know. That's all I say about that. That's all.
What's the one word you'd use to describe spring practice through 5 of them so far for the team, and why?
Competitive.
How come?
Guys have been balling. Guys have been flying around. And you got energy. We got competition at every spot nearly. Hey, nobody knows who's starting. Nobody knows what it is, and everybody wants to play. And guys are hungry. We're coming for a national championship this year, and guys know that, and guys are playing like it.
Who are the leaders besides you? Defense, offense,
leaders,
team-wise?
Main guys, I mean, Shaka Tony stepped up big time on the D-line. He runs those guys well. He keeps them under control. I mean, Garrett Taylor, another guy, he's stepping up. He's the safety leader. Lamont Wade is also stepping up really well. And that's just the defensive side. I really can't speak for the offensive side. I hear the guys that talk, but I don't really know who's actually walking the walk.
You say you guys are coming for a national championship. Obviously, that's a pretty strong statement. Who kind of is setting that tone? Is this something
everybody. That's us. We've made our mind up. We've let it slip out of our hands the last 2 years to go to the college playoffs. But at 1 point and then 3 points in the second game, the same exact way 2 years in a row. You can't let that happen again, and we're not going to let it happen again on this team.
How do you instill that to the guys who, some of the guys who weren't even here last year, that kind of thing?
Oh, they seen it. You see that stuff. When you're a recruit, you see that stuff on TV. You're just like you're so close. Even when you're committed, you want your team to win. And when you see that type of things, you're just like it gets you striving. And everybody sees the college football playoffs. Everybody wants to be in it. It's not a secret. So everybody knows.
You watch any of those games from last year as motivation, or is that not even needed?
Oh, not needed for motivation. Losing to Ohio State was motivation enough for me. So.
How long did that sit with you? I mean, is that something that you...
Oh, I had to move on. You got to move on to the next week, but at the same time, it was just that feeling of loss and letting it slip away by 1 point. It hurt.
There's a sense, I guess, on the outside of sort of newness with a lot of familiar faces moving on, obviously Trace being the biggest one. But from inside, from your perspective, it's very much a continuation of last year, the year before, and stuff like that. Is there that sense of that unfulfilled thing that you're still questing for versus more of an wide open sort of thing with new guys and new positions?
No, I feel like everybody would say the team's a new team when you lose your starting quarterback, especially a guy like Trace. He's an all-star. He's a winner. He was a great coach. Oh gosh, great player and leader. So I feel like when you lose somebody like that, everybody's gonna look from the outside and be like, oh, what are they gonna do? But it's just the next thing. It's next man up. It's just like any other position. You got to find somebody to fit the role. You got to find somebody to do the job.
Cam, what did you weigh when you arrived on campus, and what do you weigh now?
When I arrived on campus, I was probably about 205. And right now, I weighed in my recent weight was 230.
And how important was it to put on that weight, kind of the way you did?
It's been my goal for the last 5 years of my life, and this year it's finally happening. It's finally coming on solid.
What have been the keys? I'm sorry.
The keys to me putting on weight?
To keeping it on and it being solid.
Working hard, lifting harder, making sure I'm taking care of my body, eating the right things. I mean, trying to meal prep and things like that. Those are the biggest things. Make sure I'm eating even whatever snacks it may be. I have to eat snacks all day long. And if I'm sitting in the house before I go to sleep, I got to drink a protein shake and things like that.
Are you where you want to be? Could you get
I feel like I could hold a little bit more weight, so I'm going to push it until I feel uncomfortable with it, and then I'm going to gauge that from there.
And are you as athletic now as you were then, or more so?
Oh, I feel more athletic than ever. I feel good right now. I feel because when you're confident on the field and you get to play with your speed, and Coach Deeds get me right and everything, I feel good. I feel real good right now.
What would be a good meal and what would be a good snack?
A good meal. Ooh.
Like some of the things you're eating that have contributed to this.
Okay, some of the things that I'm eating that contributed to this. I don't know. We eat a lot of chicken Alfredo in my house. It's a very basic meal, but it holds a lot of weight to me. Like it's a filling meal, so probably chicken Alfredo. My favorite snack. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, the little honey cheese curls. I don't know if you guys seen them. They're like the little packs. They're honey cheese curls. They're amazing. At first I was like, ew, but I ate them. Trust me, they're where they're at.
Who does the cooking in your house?
Oh, the cooking majority of the time, honestly, Daniel Joseph. Okay. He loves to cook. He cook bread. He'll wake up 9 o'clock, no matter what day it is, and he's cooking and he's doing all types of things. So he does the majority of the cooking. But me and Shaka, we both go off and on food cooking sometimes.
That whole process, though, I mean, that's putting on a nice amount of weight in a somewhat short time, relatively. Do you get to a point where it's painful, where you're trying to down a bunch of calories and
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some days where you gotta eat till you're uncomfortable, just because maybe I didn't eat earlier in the day, or I know I gotta pack those calories in. But it's just a sacrifice I gotta make to get where I want to be.
How many calories do you know that you consume a day, or what's the target?
Near 3,000 calories, 4,000 calories a day. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's in shakes and things like that, but it's a good load.
You mentioned quarterback, Coach Trace. What have you seen from these guys this spring?
Oh, these guys look good. There's a good competition going on in the room. Everybody's challenging each other. Everybody's throwing well. And honestly, they're giving everybody a challenge on defense. So I can't tell you what's going to happen in the fall, and I wish I would. I wish I could, but it looks good right now. Just don't worry about that position.
Are they markedly different from Trace, or do they have similarities?
There's definitely similarities, but I think that comes with the scheme of the offense too. I feel like you could see everybody has a little bit of run and pass and ability to them, but I mean, I feel like Sean's a little bit more. He likes the deep ball. Sean likes to let that cannon go. Levis, he's a gunslinger. That man has a cannon. He don't know when to pull it back. So I've seen him throw the ball where it hits somebody's head and fly 30 feet in the air. So trust me, he's a gunslinger. So all these guys they're throwing well and they're looking good.
How do you replace not Trace from the standpoint of a quarterback, but he was someone, you're at Iowa down and you go, you look at him to kind of will everybody together to go win a game. How do you find a guy like that, or is it going to take multiple people to kind of replace that?
I feel like that's not somebody you go looking for. That's not something. That's something that comes out in the moment. That's not something you sit there and be like, all right, I don't know, Ricky, you're gonna be the rah-rah guy today. No, it's not like that. It's a natural thing. You got somebody that's confident in the moment, and somebody that's been there and knows what they're doing. That's when it comes out.
Do you have a sense of who that person is right now?
It could be a handful of guys right now. I mean, when the moment comes, we'll see. We'll see steps up to the plate.
Top play you guys have made as a defense this spring. I know you emphasizing takeaways. What's that best play? One that stands out to you? That's
best play.
All five.
Out of all 5 practices. I don't know. I like Garrett's interception today. Garrett Taylor had a good interception. He broke on the ball. Teammate, I think it was Pat, tipped it, and he caught a nice little one-handed interception. And we needed the momentum swing, so I think that's why I call it my favorite play of the camp this spring.
You mentioned Ricky. What can you handicap the running backs and how they've looked this spring?
The running backs, good, great. They're all looking well. Ricky's looking explosive still. Journey Brown's looking faster than ever. Noah Cain's picking up well. Noah Cain's looking good too. He's making his cuts. He looks good. He's a little bigger than I thought he was going to be, honestly. But no, they all look good though. Journey and Ricky are really standing out to me right now. Journey Brown, his speed is ridiculous. So he's standing out a lot.